Okay, summer knitting. I only have 2 projects for summer knitting. I wish I had more, to be totally honest, because I do have a little bit of cotton yarn. I very specifically, earlier last year, I had gotten a bunch of cotton, and the end of last year, I did pick up a little bit more. And unfortunately, I haven't really, and I did order a lot of oranges because I really wanted to try out some oranges. But I do have 2 projects. Let's just get into it real quick. One is Stromboli by Caitlin Hunter. I really do appreciate this pattern. I enjoy it thoroughly. I actually am doing this on Premier bamboo yarn. And the needles are Chiagoo 2.5 and 3s. And I am doing them on my nope, these are not interchangeable. These are fixed needles. Totally love the yarn. This is in the color khaki. I don't think it is available any longer. I absolutely love how drapey this is. I didn't know how it would feel about bamboo yarn, and it is actually so beautiful. It's very cool to the touch, which I completely appreciate because being summer, it is on the warm side. So this one I started last year, and I am continuing this project into this year. And I haven't, unfortunately, really worked on the vast majority of my summer projects. Why? Not really sure. I think it's because I'm really interested in other things right now, and I just have a lot on my plate, including this. Doing this is taking up a lot of my time, so a little bit more than expected, but these are all things that I do on a regular basis anyway. So I started this one last year, May 24th of 2025. So almost exactly a year ago. Love, love, love. Okay, the next project is the Peacock shirt by Lene by Lene, Holme, Samsøe, I think. I'm so bad with names, and I apologize for that. Again, this one was started last year. This one I actually started right before I started the Stromboli by Caitlin Hunter. This one is on the Hobbii 100% Dahlia yarn base. This here, it is cotton, and this one is done on Knitworks, again cubics fixed, and this is how far I've gotten. Unfortunately, I did not block this before I started, which is kind of a huge no-no. Of course, this will never go into the wash. It will always be forever hand washed and most likely cold, so there should not be any stretching or any of that, but that doesn't mean there won't be a physical difference once it's blocked, especially since it's cotton. So there's this one. I'm very happy with how it's turning out, though. I'm just hoping there's not a huge change, and I know cotton can do that, especially the non-mercerized kind. I remain hopeful. Okay, handspun. So handspun, I have um, two different two different sweaters. Both of them are by Andrea Mowry, and they are on two different gauges. One is the um, sport weight, and the other one is a worsted. And the first one I'm going to go through, and I know I get them mixed up all the time. I have such an issue with keeping them, and I don't know why. Maybe because I'm doing them both at the same time. But I am going to start with the Weekender, which I keep calling Trinket, or the Traveler, which is wrong. This one is the Weekender. Okay, now the Weekender is the one that is the worsted weight. And I am right now knitting it out of my own handspun. I have several different colorways that I have done. And a lot of it is a mix. So, and what I mean by that is mixed braids, all spun together. I have separate kinds. And I also have some chain ply, and most of it is 2-ply. Some of it is worsted, most of it is worsted, but I did sneak in some DK, and that is obvious in the sweater itself when you get a really close look up on it. But I have found that you really cannot tell the difference. It might change a little bit when I block it out, but it is here. Now this one is knitted with the knit side out, and at the end you turn it the other way, so that will be the outside, and you can see all the different colors that I have in here. And as I said, the waistband is in a chain ply. It's slightly thicker, and it has definitely more structure than the 2-ply, but I love the 2-ply. I love how there is a color progression through here. And I will show the caked, and I believe I have some uncaked here. But this one is done on a interchangeable cubic style, so it is the 4-sided knit picks version, and that one is, I want to say that's a 40-inch cable. It might be a 50-inch cable, I'm not sure, but yeah, these are interchangeable needles, and you can see where I haven't woven in any of my ends, so it's looking a little ugly. But I promise you it will look nice at the end. I do weave in my stuff sometimes as I knit, but most of the time I will just wait until the end. Sometimes I use a crochet hook. Most of the time I will use a darning needle, and I will weave it in properly. But there's that, and these are some of... This one, I believe, is 3 braids put together. And that is, you could see in the main part of the body where that actual progress is happening. And this is another colorway that is in here. Now, one of the main strands is more of a purplish blue, and then the other one is more of a progressive color. So parts of that is green, parts of it is purple. I do believe that part of it is got also blues, but of a different shade. The main blue is more of a almost like a purpley blue, and then the rest of it has like yellows, greens, and blues of a different shade. So more of a almost like a turquoisey blue. So you could tell it's blue, but it's not the same blue. And then I also have this colorway, which is a very dragonfly, very jewel toned purple, green, blues of turquoisey sapphire color. Now this one is all merino, I believe. I did hand dye this, so in the beginning I did all merino and Corridale. So if it's got a slight itch to it, it's probably Corridale. But at this time, I didn't really do a good job of labeling between the two, so it could be either one, unfortunately. But honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I believe that when I wear sweaters, I'm always layering, and I don't know if you noticed, I'm sitting here jiggling around with. I am very much a layering chick, and I fidget a lot. And if that's irritating to you, I'm sorry. It's one of my tics that I have. Another indicator of my possible issues. Yeah, but anyway, so here is another one of the balls that is going into, it's mostly purpley blues, and this one will be intermittent, put in just to add some contrast on occasion and interest. Now I'll probably be picky choosy about which parts I use because it's going to be more of this color that I end up putting in. But this is obviously, this is something that I may or may not put in. I was going to put it in another project. You could see I've already wound it up once, and I don't know if it was contrasting a little too much with whatever I had originally put this in with, because I'll be honest, I don't remember when and if I may have tried this for another project, or if I just keep having to wind it up because it gets bounced around from project to project, and I'm never really truly happy with whether or not I want to put this into a project, because it has very specific colors and they are very jarring if it's not in the right project, in my opinion. That it does have oranges, it has yellows, it has greens, but then it has the darker colors in it too. So it is going to be a very specific vibe, I think. So I'm not sure if I'm actually going to put that in here. But this is what I use. This one is the chain ply. This one is actually left over from the night shift shawl. And this is what I used for the waistband. And this one is a chain ply. But the rest of it is all 2-ply. And most of it is more on the worsted side. Yeah, this one is worsted. And I would have to say that this is definitely more on the DK side. So there is a mix in here, and there is fluctuation in the vast majority of the yarn that is in here. It might even sometimes venture into the side or the realm of jumbo even. I don't think so. I think the vast majority of it is probably closer to, especially on the main braid, to the DK realm. And this is not, oh, here it is. This is what that main part, it came from this lot. Now this lot is a little mixed, and that's because I ended up adding a braid at the end, and it kind of changed the colorway. Now, I'm not unhappy about that, but it did make one of them or two of them slightly different than the others. And I have to kind of account for that if I and when I decide to put that into a project. But this is the other half of that. And these are the sisters. So you can see that these are darker, and you can see where I ended up adding the lighter color to it, and it was a leftover from a spin, and I believe that that lighter color got added because it was like half a braid that got forgotten to be added to another braid, and so it was sitting there kind of by its lonesome self, and I decided to add it to this last half of what was left of the other spin, and I just put it in with these last two, and I ended up with this extra color, but there was only two of them, and then there's three of the others. So I can definitely still use them all in the same sweater. That sweater is not going to be a single specific color, and that's the fun of having hand dyed and hand spun stuff. It doesn't all have to be consistent. You try to be, but, and I did start it with that, and I might add these, you know, as mostly the sleeves. I haven't really decided yet. I absolutely love all these. I for sure always rub it. I mean, it's face soft, so I want to say it is. If there is Corridale in here, there's very little, and Corridale and I are mostly okay with each other, except for if I get a little prickly, it will end up being an issue. But that is the weekender for me. Oh, I just love. I love, love, love. As I said, this is the only one that has a little bit of the lighter color. And, you know, hands, and this is why Tour de Fleece is so, like, I think important for a lot of us, people who do knitting like this, where you are doing this hand spun projects, it really makes it worth it. All those colorways, do I have a specific project for all of them? No. But am I going to sell some of them? You know, the future is what the future is. So I don't dismiss anything. Like I said, I never want to sell my stuff. I absolutely love my stuff. So it would have to be something that I would have to really think about. So, and that's just it. And that's part of the thing that I kind of want to share the joy of making so that others can make for themselves, because I love my stuff. My stuff, everything that I create are like my children. I know how attached I become to the things that I make, and if I send it out and someone decides that they don't like the stuff that I created, I think I would be very hurt by that. It's like sending out your child and your child gets rejected and your child gets sent back. I would be very hurt, I think, because it is so much of my love language. It is something that I think is very personal to me. Um, so therefore, if I do end up giving or gifting or whatever to somebody, it's usually because I am emotionally attached to that person. For me to give it out to a stranger is a very foreign thing. So I know that's a very bizarre thing, but that's just the way I feel. Now, the very next project is the Traveler. The Traveler hoodie, actually. And that one is Drea Renee Knits. And that one is also my personal hand spun. I do have leftovers from when I did her Traveler. And that is that black and white Corridale. That is my accidental rainbow. That's my stuff on hold. This is the other part. This is the part that is slightly bigger. And this one is on the Knitworks. Ooh, I can't remember the name of it. Karbonz. And this is the size that is required for the pattern. And I am doing the size medium. So it's Corridale and Merino. Everything that I show that is hand spun is non-superwash. And as I said, most of it's Corridale. And this is the hanked, or the skein and the ball. Skein and the ball. And these I'm actually using for multiple projects. So there's a little bit of it in multiple different places. I generally, when I do something like this, it's going to be equal parts of each. Unless for some reason I just have a little bit more of one type out. Generally, you can see that I try to keep it as even as I can. That's not always going to be achievable. There's obviously going to be chunks, and that's what I love about it, is because it does have that variation to it. You can see in here that there is different parts in here too. So in the center, it seems like it's a little bit darker than what's on the outside. And that's not very obvious in the bottom. Yeah, it just has little specks, maybe little lines here and there. It is mostly chaotically throughout. Is there pulling? You know, honestly, nothing pulls on my stuff. I don't try to do anything really. I just do it the way it is on the how I spin it. And as the Tour de Fleece happens, I will be showing how I do my spins. But this is the skein and the balled up. This is the rest of what is going into the Traveler. Some more. These Corridale. This one is the 3-ply chain ply, and I have these in several projects, so I have a lot of it. These specifically I hackled, and I did the layers of black and then white, and I then dizzed it off, and then I did a single, a really long single. As it was dizzed off, I did it however the diz was, the roving after it was pulled off, and I turned it into a chain ply. I really wanted to do a chain ply, and this was kind of like my practice to do chain ply for color control, because there are going to be braids that I have done that are very specifically chain plied. So, and that's so that I could color control what goes into the project. Then yeah, the project. So this is the yellow, or the pink, that was from the original Traveler. The Traveler shawl, I should say. And this is the hanged up version of this. You can see it's been sitting in the bag for a while, so it's taken on the shape of the bag. But yeah, this is the loosey-goosey stuff in the skein. And then this is the leftover that's going into the hoodie. And this is the skeined up yellow. And this is the leftover ball of it. So obviously I had a lot that was left over from the shawl, which I have in the other room. And this is one that I might sneak in somewhere when it gets closer to the hood. I know these are very different, but this is all I have left, and I do have quite a lot of that hoodie to go, so I'm not really sure how it's going to play out as far as what I have left. And even though, and this is at the absolute end of it, it looks like I have a lot left to do. So because I plan on doing the hood, that means that I'm going to have a lot more to go. I have the 2 long sleeves, and even though I have a lot of this, we'll see. So that is the Traveler hoodie by Renee.